They've been accused of running the world, hiding secrets in plain sight, and swearing allegiance to powers beyond nations and kings. But who really are the Freemasons? Are they a simple brotherhood of men dedicated to self-improvement? A strange, outdated religion? A secretive cult? Or could they be something far more dangerous? For centuries, their symbols, rituals, and powerful members have fueled suspicion and awe. Join us as we pull back the curtain and uncover the truth behind the compass. The story of the Freemasons begins not in shadowy bathrooms, but in the sun-drenched construction sites of the Middle Ages. They were originally guilds of stonemasons, the master craftsmen who built Europe's magnificent cathedrals and towering castles. These men possessed coveted knowledge of geometry and architecture, secrets they guarded closely. But as the centuries passed and the great age of cathedral building waned, these operative lodges began to change. They started accepting members who weren't actual stonemasons, men known as speculative masons, thinkers, philosophers, merchants, and eventually the societal elite were drawn to the fraternity's principles of morality and intellectual inquiry. By the 1700s, this new form of Freemasonry had exploded in popularity, spreading like wildfire across Europe and into the American colonies. The founding of the Grand Lodge of England in 1717 is often seen as the birth of modern Freemasonry. Lodges began popping up in cities and towns everywhere, each operating under a charter from a regional Grand Lodge. Within these tiled walls, a structured system of rituals, secret codes, and progressive degrees of membership was established, transforming a simple workers' guild into one of the most influential and mysterious organizations in the world. So, what actually happens inside a Masonic lodge? Freemasonry operates through a series of levels called degrees. Most lodges practice the first 3 degrees known as the Blue Lodge. A new member, called an entered apprentice, begins a journey of symbolic learning through ritualistic teachings and dramatic allegories. He progresses to the degree of fellowcraft and finally to master mason. Each stage is loaded with ancient symbolism designed to impart moral and philosophical lessons. You've probably seen their symbols, even if you didn't recognize them. The most famous, the square and compasses, represents the need to square our actions with the compass of virtue. Then there's the all-seeing eye, or the eye of providence, a symbol of divine watchfulness that has become infamous through its appearance on the US dollar bill. Many of these symbols reflect moral lessons, esoteric truths, or have direct ties to biblical architecture specifically. The legendary story of the building of King Solomon's Temple, which forms a central part of Masonic allegory, the tools of the ancient stonemason, the gavel, the level, the plumb ruler, all given new symbolic meanings to guide a man in building his own character. The list of famous Freemasons reads like a who's who of world history. It has included kings, scientists, presidents, composers, and revolutionaries. In the United States, the influence is undeniable. George Washington was a dedicated Freemason and was sworn in as president on a Masonic Bible. Benjamin Franklin served as the Grand Master of Pennsylvania. 14 U.S. presidents have been Masons, along with many of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Across the pond, figures like Winston Churchill, composers like Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, writers like Oscar Wilde, and even automotive pioneer Henry Ford were all members of the craft. Today, it's estimated there are over 6 million members worldwide, with Grand Lodges operating in nearly every country on Earth. This vast, interconnected network of men, bound by oaths of brotherhood and secrecy, is a formidable force. While they claim to be apolitical and irreligious, the sheer number of influential men in their ranks has always made outsiders wonder about the true extent of their power. And despite their global presence, their internal workings remain strictly off-limits to non-members. It is this very secrecy that has made the Freemasons a prime target for conspiracy theories for centuries. Some believe they are the hidden hand behind a sinister New World Order, a secret government, pulling the strings of world events. Others claim they seek to undermine established religions and control global finance. The accusations are wild and varied: that they worship Lucifer, that they orchestrated wars, that they are a modern-day Knights Templar guarding an ancient, world-shattering secret. Proponents of these theories point to Masonic symbols they claim are hidden in plain sight. They see them in the very layout of Washington, D.C.'s streets. On the Great Seal of the United States, printed on every dollar bill and woven into corporate logos and global architecture. But is there any fire to this smoke? Are the Freemasons actually a shadow government controlling the world from behind the scenes, or are they just a fraternity with an incredibly effective and enduring branding strategy? The line between influence and control is a blurry one. So, after peeling back the layers of myth and legend, what do we actually know for certain? We know this: Freemasonry is very real. The lodges, the secret oaths, the elaborate rituals of it is documented and actively practiced today. Members meet regularly in temples around the world. They pledge themselves to principles of brotherhood, relief, and truth. And they do take oaths of secrecy, promising not to reveal the specific modes of recognition and rituals to outsiders. But rather than plotting world domination, the vast majority of Masonic activities we can verify are far more mundane, yet still impactful. Most modern lodges focus heavily on charity, community service, education, and personal development. Masonic organizations donate millions of dollars every year to causes like children's hospitals, disaster relief, and scholarships. For its members, it's a space for personal growth and fellowship. Still, the power of a loyal, global brotherhood, whose members include some of the most influential people on the planet, should not be underestimated. In the end, Freemasonry may not be the evil empire its detractors claim, but it remains one of the most powerful, secretive, and misunderstood organizations in human history. It is a brotherhood that has survived the fall of kings, weathered revolutions, and endured through global wars. Its principles have inspired founders of nations, and its secrecy has fueled the fears of millions. And it's still here, somewhere in your town, or the next one over, behind a door that might not have a sign. The lodge is still meeting, perhaps even tonight. What do you think? Are the Freemasons a force for good, a simple fraternity dedicated to charity and self-betterment? Or is there something more sinister lurking behind the symbols and secrecy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to dive deeper into the world of secret societies, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because our next episode explores the bizarre world of Bohemian Grove. Thanks for watching.